Pokemon Jupiter version is a ROM hack of Ruby version, created by CrazyBuizel around 2008, and is one of the best ROM hacks out there in my opinion, though some would argue that. For those who don't know, a ROM hack is a version of a regular game that has been edited with various tools. These tools change things such as the map, tiles, sprites, scripts, music, you name it. While it can be difficult for ROM hackers at times, there are almost no limits to what you can do as long as you stay within the confines of the original game, and Pokemon Jupiter version proves that, but we'll get back to that. Pokemon Jupiter version is loosely based off of the Golden Sun series. You play as Ivan from Golden Sun, and a few other characters may be based off of characters from the Golden Sun series, but I'm not too familiar with it, so I'm not sure. The story starts off strong. You appear to be on some sort of island or mountain when an earthquake occurs. If you have any experience in ROM hacking, you know that it's pretty impossible to get rid of this because there's a default feature at the beginning of Ruby or Sapphire. However, it is still fairly unique as your character looks to the side and blinks while this happens. That's not quite what I would do during an earthquake, especially if I was next to a mountain with a bunch of rocks on it, but hey, it's still pretty neat. You continue to run through caves and progress up the mountain. As you run through the caves start to flood. You are literally running for your life. Once you reach the top, you meet your buddy who tells you to jump into a hole. It doesn't sound smart at first since you want to be above water level, but don't worry, it's a magic hole. You end up falling onto a beach where Mr. Pink, your homosexual friend, finds you and brings you home. He tells you to set the clock and sends you on your way. Fair enough? As he gives you your running shoes, you find out he's not only gay, but a pedophile drug user. Pretty cool, huh? All that plus cool music imported from the GBA version of Golden Sun, I think, plus the pretty cool Pokemon designs. Oh yeah, that move equals a pretty cool game, right? Well, it's not all so black and white. Right after Mr. Pink says his farewells, the game starts to get a little familiar. Once you get past the Snowy Pass, the map looks ridiculously similar to Ruby. Cinder City looks a lot like Rustboro City, and Zap Tap City looks unique at first, but once you take a few more steps, you realize it's near identical to Mauville City. Back to Zap Tap City, when you walk into the bike store and talk to Rydell, he gives you the Acro Bike or the Mach Bike, depending on which you chose. However, when you go to ride your bike, you realize that you indeed have not received a bike, but you received a kite. That's right, you get to ride a kite, and I think it's pretty cool. That is, unless you chose the Acro Kite. While I give him credit for making new animations for the bike, I can't help but criticize the lack of animation for the Acro Kite. But hey, it's not a deal breaker. Even with all these slight flaws, this was a ROM hack I played until the end. Unfortunately, it ends fairly abruptly. Once you beat the gym leader in Zap Tap City, you can continue on to the next route until you reach a dead end. As far as I know, this is where the creator called it quits on Jupiter version. I have not been able to find a newer version than the one I had, and the playthrough I found on YouTube ended at the same spot I got stuck at. Pokemon Jupiter version has its flaws, but so does any other ROM hack. Despite the little issues, I really enjoyed this game. It has a lot of features that are scarcely used or have never been seen before in ROM hacks. It has truly left its mark in ROM hacking history. Out of 10 stars, I give it an honest 6.